Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At-Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay-at-home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight, got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet, cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Danny, you didn't leave me. I'm glad. Hit record.
I can't leave you.
You're
I
still
can't leave
here.
you on black shirt night.
I know, right? You got the memo. So I got my brewery
Just from
shirt on
Deadlow?
tonight. Yeah, I got my brewery shirt on. So
Yeah, and I saw too that your brewer's got like the bronze medal on or bronze award.
yeah.
And,
Yeah,
I don't have all the details, obviously.
it's okay. No, our head brewer was awarded
Yeah.
a bronze medal and from the
Nice.
U.S. Open Beer Championship, which is, I believe,
Cool.
like the second. I think it's like the second largest beer judging competition, like in the country or something like that.
Oh wow.
So kind of a big deal, and it takes place here in Ohio too, which is really neat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he won bronze for a historical beer. It's called a Kott Booser. It's not something that a lot of places make. Um, the notes in it are honey, molasses, and oats. And to me, I would say a rendition of like a sweet lager. So it's a really good beer. The history behind it was a beer that was made over in Germany and was outlawed by the Nazis.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
he when he got the opportunity to start making beer and getting to choose his own recipes, he found that recipe and was like, I want to make this. And that's what he did, and then entered it. And yeah, he got his medal today, so it was a pretty exciting morning at the brewery for that.
Yeah, fantastic. Congratulations to your brewery, to your brewmaster.
Yeah,
I
thank
think
you.
that's
Yeah,
great stuff. And honestly, I always want to celebrate those things, even though it's kind of like a niche thing and it's kind of for you and your job. And,
yeah.
and people like me just sitting here listening to you talking about notes and trying not to glaze over. But I will say I do appreciate the passion you have. And I really think that's something that it's a reason why people listen to us is
Yeah,
that
no,
passion
thanks,
like
man.
that. So
Yeah,
I make fun of you, but
oh, it's okay. It's
yeah,
okay.
I think
I
you're
did get
good.
I did get the chance to talk to the guys after we did pictures and everything, and I was like, so how do I get connected with you guys? How do I maybe get to do some of this? And kind of had like a mini interview with him. Actually, he's asking me all kinds of
Nice.
questions, and he was like, yeah, he's like, I'll be in touch with you. Like, so who knows, maybe I get
Cool.
to be a part of some of the judging. They have like a beer enthusiast category, so they,
All right.
will put you around a table with some guys, and you get to do some judging of some of it, which is pretty cool.
You all love beer, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
So I know you needed to be busier, so I'm glad you did that.
yeah, you know, what can I say? That's like I this weekend I went up and hung out with Matt Lofi from the Dad Ass podcast, and spent the entire Saturday with him,
Sweet.
and we were concocting plans for like a new passion project. We'll just say that later on in the year we might be able to give more information out, but it's pretty exciting. So
Yeah.
um
And I know he's excited. He has announced this on their, the Dad Ass podcast. So
yeah,
we're not revealing anything, but he has
yeah.
one little baby, about 3 almost or somewhere. I don't want to say their name, but and has another one on the way.
Yeah,
So
he does.
awesome.
He's got one on the way. I actually made a really funny joke because he always talked about how like his toddler, would basically like somehow like, get him in the jewels all the time. And and his wife, so him and his wife were in the kitchen and we were just talking, and I was like, hey, I just want to say congratulations on the new little one on the way. And I just want to say, Matt, you beat the odds on getting hit in the nuts and still being able to produce an heir. So congratulations. Way to go,
Well
buddy.
done, sir.
His wife was laughing so hard. It was hilarious. So yeah, so that was a fun one to just kind of put out there for him. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the project though that he's working on is basically trying to get changing tables and changing stations in men's and I think just like genderless bathrooms basically. And I think he did over 130 up in Columbus. It was pretty awesome. And he got city council involved, and they forked over a ton of money. And it wasn't even taxpayers' money. It was actually like it was money that these city councilmen just like wrote a check to like make this happen, and businesses could just sign up for it. And he told me a really funny story, and I won't use the name of the place or anything like that, but it's somebody that he hangs out with regularly, and this person, I guess they just had a kid like in between or something, and he kept saying, oh no, we don't need to do that or something along those lines. And his wife was like, are you kidding me? Like, what? It's free. You could put it in there, like whatever. And she's yelling at him, and come find out that the day that they were talking about it was like the day after everything ended.
Oh no.
Like the proverbial smack in the back of the head by the wife.
Missed it by that much.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I was just like, yep, that happens. I mean, people just, gotta get over it. If that's something that you need in your business, like, especially if someone's gonna just give it to you, like take it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, so in the future, hopefully there'll be some partnerships that are coming along with what he's doing and things like that. And that's what I'm hoping to get involved with after I finish up my term here on the board. So I'm excited about it.
Cool. Yeah. And Matt's a good guy.
Yeah.
I like him. I like Sean more. I'm just saying. So I was going to tell you, Matt, I love you, but Sean's my best, my favorite. That's it really is too, because Sean and Matt are like you and I so many ways. We were talking when we were in Phoenix, and I'm like, oh my God, yes, that's exactly what Brock does.
Yeah, there's some similarities there, that's for sure. Yeah, definitely.
All good things.
All good things. Exactly. But yeah, so that's what was going on. And then before we got on, I was telling you that I'm just kind of feeling a little burnt out on fatherhood. I'm sure I'm not alone in that. I don't know, man. There's just days, maybe weeks, where you just like, okay, like, can I bow out for a while? Like,
right.
Just so many different things that you see need done around the house. You're like, I don't have any fortitude to even get involved into it. Or like tonight, for instance, I had the dog basically like stalking me around the house, like, take me out. And the kids were all doing things, and Corey was sitting on the couch, and she didn't mean anything by it. I mean, she's tired, she worked all day. But I like walked into the living room, and at one point Ruby's like, Papa, and I'm like, I can't do it all. And just threw my hands up in the air, and I walked out with the dog. Like, I don't know what else to do. I'm like, I'm not trying to say like, hey, like, can you help out? But it was just like, I can't do it all. Like,
yeah. and I think, and we've talked about this in the past too, is understanding that we both, like, you and your partner both have such a high demand on you, Yeah. And the way you've switched stuff, it makes it different, but also just with any family, you have kids, they have needs constantly.
Oh yeah, constantly. And they're just constantly asking for things all the time.
Snacks. Shut up. I want no snacks. Ain't no snacks in this house anymore. No, just kidding. Someone's little snack bitch.
Yep. But I love it. I was like thinking at my head, I'm like, is he gonna say it?
Yeah. But you reach that point, and it's the end of your day. And I mean, I do it with Marnie a lot. She's she goes in early, so she's done by like 3 or 3:30 or something. And she says, okay, I'm home. And I'm like, cool. Cool. I have 6 more hours, and you and I can fall asleep in front of the TV. How about that?
There you go.
Because it's just it's not going to slow down. It's not going to stop. It's just going to be thing after thing after thing. And I will say, I find that my wife is incredibly helpful, competent, useful, will pitch it. I have to ask her. I'm going to have to literally say, I need you to do this. And that's been a problem of mine, because I'm I'm definitely passive aggressive. And I just want her to know somehow, some magical way, like she can read my mind, that I'm stressed out, that I'm doing too much. But I don't want to ask her to do things because she worked all day already.
Right.
And she's already tired. She's used up a lot of her energy. And I just want to keep doing it myself. And then, like you said, you get to a point and you're suddenly yelling, or at least raising your voice. You're
or just
popping.
Being like,
you just
I'm
pop.
done. I gotta go.
I'm out. I'm sorry. I'm out. No, the kids are right there. You'll be fine. I'm gone. I got to walk the dog.
Yeah. That's pretty much what that came down to. So, but I mean, I was looking forward to this because tonight, especially, we've got two great guys to talk to. And also too, like, I'm just so proud of these guys, honestly, like, just the way they got involved with the organization and what they're doing now and stuff. And it's interesting to look back on, like, what started out as just hey, I'm gonna, like, for me, like, I'm gonna buy the professional version of Zoom and we're just gonna start these dad lounge things up and just see what happens. And to see two guys really just have a passion for what it is, and to really just take it to like another, like, just level, and also too to be able to hand it off to them. Like, that's the other thing. Like, I think sometimes people are like, oh, my baby, and it's like, it's not really my baby. But at the same time, like, got it rolling, was able to give it to somebody else, and they got just the same amount of push on it. So so I'm excited to see what Arvis and Phil have to say about the Dad Lounge and presenting about the Dad Lounge at Home DadCon. So we'll be right back with those guys, and so see you soon. Become a member of the National At-Home Dad Network, an organization focused on providing advocacy, community, education, and support, connecting with households where dad is the primary caregiver of the children. We do this through our webinar and podcast series, mental health support groups, regular online social events, as well as our annual convention. The National At-Home Dad Network is a 100% volunteer organization. Without the generous support of its members and the community around it, we would not be able to continue the work that we do. Becoming a member gives you access to past convention speaker presentations, the ability to vote for board members annually, and ensures that the organization's fees and bills are in positive standing. Oh yeah, it should not go unmentioned that there is some cool swag headed your way if you decide to become a member. For only $35 a year, your membership provides you with the exclusive content only we can generate, and you'll be supporting an organization that benefits families all around the country and world. By advocating for them, offering them community, providing education and guidance, and supporting them to grow in their parenthood journey. And one last thing, if you contribute $500 or more, you will become a lifetime member. Not only will you receive everything already mentioned, but also a certificate recognizing your status and an exclusive National At-Home Dad Network challenge coin with our trademark logo, Dads Don't Babysit. So, what are you waiting for? Become a member today.
Wait, before we do.
It's all good. You're going to have to wait now. Hey, everybody. Welcome back from the break. As we stated before, we've got our guests with us tonight, and we're going to have a good time. These two gentlemen are regulars on the Dad Lounge. I recently handed things over to them to just continue on with having a place for dads to be able to come twice a week and just be able to just relax and hang out with other dads and tell jokes and, laugh at all the stupid things that happen in life, or even share some of the serious things in life and have a place to go to where you can feel safe with it. So with that, Phil and Arvis, welcome to the show, guys. We're excited to have you here. How you doing?
Good, man. Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Yes, thank you very much for having us on.
Yeah.
Such a great point.
We worried about last names? I know you're professional.
I don't mind. My name is
Okay.
Phillip Fry, like from Futurama.
I love that you're using that. That's awesome.
The I'm sorry, Arvis, I don't mean to interrupt, but the
No
first
worries.
time that I heard your name, Phillip, I went, no, it ain't. And I think it was Brock, actually. I can't remember who it was, but it was in not Cincinnati.
No, it'd been
Wherever
Fort
it was.
Cincinnati.
Might have been Cincy. I don't know. But anyway, somebody said it, and I literally went, no. No, you heard their name wrong. That's because that's awesome. But that's like, hey, James Bond wants to see you. Yeah,
The,
sure he does. Yeah. Okay.
When I was getting my hunting license, the guy didn't even say Futurama. He was like, "Oh, like from the show." Yeah, man. You're like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You don't even have to say which one. Yeah.
From the show. Wow. Okay.
Famous.
And we've got Arvis Brackeen with us.
Hello.
It's taken me forever to actually get your name correct, last name correct.
You know, trust me, a lot of people actually say Brackeen, breaking. It's kind of a norm, and so it's where you just kind of go with it, and so it's where you just
Yeah.
I think Arvis is actually it that gets butchered worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what
But,
would be a difference than Arvis? Because
that's what I wanted to know.
Oh man, I done got it. Avis, Orvi, like an undiscovered mold.
they're taking out letters is what's going on here. They're not reading your name
Oh.
correctly at all.
Yes, or they'll rearrange it, call me Arvis, and
Oh.
there's literally been times where they were like, Arvis, can you come here? I'm like, how did you do that? I'm like, that's fascinating. But Phil, I will say, when I first saw your name, I did think the same thing too. I'm like, yo, that's freaking awesome. But I'm like, don't say nothing.
Well, so you two guys came in to be a part of the organization kind of in different ways. Like I feel like Phil, with you came into DadCon at home, I believe. Yep. And that's how you got connected. Arvis and I got connected through a different stay-at-home dad Facebook group, actually, and just kind of introduced him into the National At-Home Dad Network. And basically, I stole him from the other group. That's what it was. And he's been here ever since. But so I just kind of we'll start with you, Phil. Tell us a little bit about your family and what brought you into like connecting with the organization.
Yeah. So right now, I got a 9-year-old son and a 4-year-old daughter that just started school. And I got a 3-year-old daughter and an 8-month-old son that I'm still full-time in it with at home. And at the time when it was 2020, when COVID all started, when the guys did the online version of DadCon, I found out about you guys like, man, it was like a month or something before the actual con from my counselor in Phoenix, actually. You know, she was like, you're not the only stay-at-home dad. There's actually this network. I think she saw something on like the CBS morning show or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's how she and she sent me a link and I checked you guys out and I saw you were doing this DadCon thing. And so I was like swept up. And, you know, I know a lot of guys are like, oh, you know, the online one really missed a lot. But that was the first one I went to. And it was awesome. You know, the biggest thing for me was I did Matt Strain's breakout on cooking. And I was like, I couldn't believe, you know, how many other dads are cooking. And after that, you know, I literally just started, I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to cook. And, you know, that made it easier. So my wife didn't have to cook when she got off of work. And then we ended up getting like 2 or 3 hours extra every day because I was cooking during the daytime. And I mean, and I try to take one thing away from each one of the conventions I go to. But it's been awesome. And then, you know, having the dad lounge and stuff, because, you know, I live in a really rural place and I've met 2 other stay-at-home dads in like the last 3 years, and I totally scared him away.
Mhm.
Be my friend.
Right. Yeah.
But there's not a ton of them. But yeah, the dad lounge and that aspect has been really cool. And the conventions, those are like software updates for me. Those are really awesome.
I like the way you say that, software updates. That's actually a really good that's a really good way to look at it. Just you're getting rebooted in a way with more information.
For
That's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny too. Like, so after DadCon at home, I think there was like a week or something where kind of we were getting ready to get back into like doing the dad lounge stuff. And I remember you sending an email and you're like, "Hey, when are you doing that again?" I'm like, "Well, actually, we're gonna start doing the dad lounge on a regular basis." He's like, "I'll see you there." I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
cool." So that worked out really well.
Oh yeah, it was perfect.
Arvis, what about you, man? Tell us a little bit about your family and how things got connected for you with the org.
Well, I have identical twin boys, who just turned 13 this past August 11th. And, at the time that I, became a stay-at-home dad, I was diagnosed with all of these health conditions, and everything kind of slammed at me at once. And I was just given, some bad news from the doctor that they were uh, running out of options to treat my pain because I have multiple different types of chronic pain that I deal with on the daily basis. And so I was looking for, a stay-at-home dad group and, that can try to give me some guidance, something like that. And I really wasn't getting it. And I was at the point where I was literally saying to myself, I'm like, man, I need prayer. I'm like, I just need someone to kind of just guide me. I was looking for a mentor and then ended up reached out with you. You reached out to me, as far as on a different subject, but we clicked like instantly. And you recommended me to the National At Home Dad Network. And you said that we have this thing that's called Dad Lounge, a place that, other stay-at-home dads can be able to hang out. And I was nervous because, I'm from the hood. And, to be perfectly honest to the listeners, the only thing you hear about stay-at-home dads or anything with dads in the hood is the complaining of child support. And so, my dad has been in the picture, and I thank God for that. We have a better relationship than we once did. But, the guidance that I needed, I wasn't getting, and no fault to him. Excuse me. But so what happened is, you brought me in, and I was so nervous. And I was just thinking about I'm like, I want to be a better dad. I want to be a better dad, but I don't know how. And I remember the network welcomed me with open arms. And, I tried the Phoenix City Dads, and, that's a very good network, but we just did not connect. Felt very much like an outsider. And Phoenix is a very big city, but when it comes to at-home dads, it's very far in between. And so, around here, there's really no one to vibe with. So it's kind of like a rural setting, kind of like what Phil deals with. And I remember, you told me about as far as DadCon, and the first one was, quote unquote, in my backyard. And I remember I almost didn't go. And I remember going and seeing dads literally wear being a stay-at-home dad like a badge of honor. And I'm very big on family, and just seeing other dads welcome me in and accepting me for who I am. And embracing that. And so ever since, I was thinking to myself on what can I do to give back and to be able to help this organization, if possible, to grow. Because even though it's on a national stage, it's still not known for what it does.
Yeah, well said. Definitely a lot of folks that still don't know who the National At-Home Dad Network are, but I feel like that's a constant thing that we just keep pushing the proverbial rock up the hill to. I don't know.
I will say, talking to some, because we're always looking for other dad organizations to partner with, and people that we can find like mind and to boost their signal. And maybe they boost ours in return and what have you. And it's happened more often in the last 6 months or so that somebody goes, "Oh yeah, we know who you are," and in an email or on a call or whatever. And I'm just like, yes. And I think honestly, quarantine did a huge service for a lot of people that were at-home parents, helping them find an organization. So, but the Dad Lounge, man, Brock and I talk all the time that if you're going to be an at-home dad, you really need to find a mentor and a men's group. I mean, you just need to find, you can say whatever word, I call it my social network, or my support network. I need this. And if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be doing my job nearly as well. I mean, you can't live in a vacuum in this job. So the Dad Lounge itself was a fantastic idea. And it's done very well for a lot of people. So now you're going into the convention to give a breakout on it. So I have to ask, how, if you're not going to use this in your presentation directly, how did it affect you? Like the first or second time you went in there and just really understood what you were getting into? How'd you feel? Like, Phillip?
I mean, like the first thing I remember when I went in there was the same thing. I was like getting ready, finger over the leave meeting, if it felt weird or whatever, just peace, because typically, in the Dad Lounge for me, the biggest thing that I felt in the beginning and what I still like take away the most from it is like I love like just seeing all these other faces, and I'm like, oh man, they're all doing the same thing. They're all like carrying the same kind of struggle with them and stuff. And, you don't have to like go into the whole, like, well, I feel this way because, it's, that part's covered, you can just say what's up. And so that's the biggest thing. I love just seeing everybody and just seeing so many guys, because there's something about that, I don't, like I said, and even like, in Arvis's case, like it doesn't necessarily matter if you're in a big city or in the middle of nowhere. There might be a lot of us, but we're all hiding or something. I mean, you don't see it like that. So that's what I like about it. Just being able to know and see all these other guys going through the same thing. And I mean, it's super helpful.
Arvis, have you had kind of the same feelings? Is that what you got like in your first couple of things, or have you experienced something different?
Yeah, I experienced about the same things, because when I first came in, I felt I was very nervous, and I was afraid that I wouldn't be accepted. That's always my fear, is will they accept me for who I am? But as the second time when I came in, I'm like, wow, when I asked them how their day was, and I tell them, I'm like, you know what, man, my kids ain't listening, or, right now, I'm like, I caught everything clean, and then I found, and they understand what I'm talking about. And, when it comes to like little tricks, or like, I'm like, hey, do you by any chance, clean the top of your light bulbs, in your vanity? And, they'll be like, yeah. And they're like, no, Arvis, we can't.
We can't see that like you can.
But the thing about it is that I love it.
Arvis brings a whole new perspective to cleaning that none of us will ever know without a ladder.
It's really cool too, because if you think about how your kids view the world, right? Your kids, you're a giant. Everybody's a giant. You though, Arvis, and honestly, Phil too. Y'all are big, and to be able to have that perspective, I think it's great for any group. I didn't mean to really interrupt you on the cleaning the top of your light bulbs part, but yeah, we can't see that. I don't know what's up there. I don't want to know what's up there.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally like, I remember one session, they're like, Arvis, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm dusting my ceilings. And they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, it gets dirty. And I'm thinking to myself, I could never have this conversation with anyone else, with any group of people, because I have tried and they have no idea. And you have people from all walks of life. And not just nationally, but we have at home dads that called from Sweden, Canada, the Netherlands, who call in, and it'll be where you're welcomed, and it's really an environment that it really helps you out tremendously. And I didn't feel, uncomfortable anymore. I did think about, as far as the same thing Phil said. I'm like, you know what? I'll give it 5 minutes and then I'm going to head out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Arvis. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Go ahead. Well, I was just going to say that, 5 hours later, I'm there just enjoying myself, and I'm like, wow, I can't wait till Thursday. And it's been like that ever since.
I will say it is fun to like, before I go to bed, I'll usually, like, if I've got it just running on my computer, sometimes I'll pull it up and it's like there's 8-10 guys at like midnight Eastern time just hanging on there. I mean, most of them are West Coast guys, but there are sometimes you get a few guys who have just decided to stay up late, and it's just amazing to see like everybody on there chatting and having just a good old time. And I'm like, glad you all are having fun. I'm going to bed. but they're also too, I love it, there's always this like place where one person says, well, hey, I gotta go, I'll see you guys later, and then you get like 3 other people like, oh, we're gonna go too, like the door's opening up, we're following on him with them.
There's always that one ominous leader who has the guts to finally say it's time to go, and they're like, oh man, I've been waiting for forever.
Yeah, there are definitely a few people that are still trying to figure out like the whole like exiting plan from out of being in the dad lounge for sure.
Yes.
I have to imagine that it might be a little difficult at times to get that word in to tell people you're going to leave. I have to believe that the conversation is just going and going, and there's no spot.
Yep. That's where the chat. That's where the chat comes in handy. Really, well.
Type it in.
A lot of people are like, "Hey, I gotta go. See ya."
Yeah, I mean, Arvis, the MO, man. It's I usually just drop out. I'll see y'all again, man. It's no big deal.
And then they're like, "Hey, where did Phil go?" I'm like, "Oh, his battery died."
Yeah, there you go.
Phil did the old electronic Irish goodbye. See you.
Yep. Yeah. There was one thing I remember. This was like it was over a year ago, and I don't remember who said it. It might have been you, Brock. I don't know, but it really stood out to me because whenever anybody jumps on, it's like, hey man, what are you doing? Or how things are going, and the dad said something like, oh, doing laundry, I'm getting dinner cooked, dad stuff, and I was like, oh man, that hit with me. I was like, oh, that's cool, I only hear with that like resonate so true. It was really cool to hear that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I love how when you made like look in someone's like background, they're doing laundry or they're cooking, and every dad is curious. They're like, hey, what you cooking? And
it.
Literally like, they're like, hey man, send me that recipe, man. Put that in the chat. Yeah. And so no matter what you're into, they have a genuine interest in what you love.
I have times where I just turn it on and I'll just have it in the background just so I can hear the conversations that are going on. Like I might even have my video going, but I'll be like unloading the dishwasher or folding laundry or something like that. And from time to time, I might say something. For the most part, though, I'm just there just to listen to everybody else talk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I did that yesterday on the Dad Lounge. My truck keeps breaking down, so I took my phone and I put the video up on my Pigeons, so you could watch something cool. Well, I just took the Bluetooth speaker out to the truck, and I treat it like a podcast sometimes. And man, it's awesome if there's like 10 guys on there.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get to touch on some cool subjects and conversations for sure.
I do have to confess, Phil, when you were working on your truck the other day, I popped on, we were talking, and Corey was like, is somebody else on there right now? And I was like, yeah, Phil, he's working on his truck or whatever. And so he's, just kind of trying to get this thing going. And she was like, oh, really? And like we walked into the office, and she looks in there, and you're just like ass in the air, like on top of your engine.
Oh man, I was actually that day I was under my truck, so and I was like, man, I got to make sure I pay attention to beeps because I'm down there, swearing up a storm, yelling at the rusted parts, and I'm like, gotta make sure I'm not the only one right now. And
well, like I had seen it, like when I talked to you, you were underneath the truck, and that's what I told her, and she's like, "What?" And then like we walked in, and you were like up in the like engine compartment, like looking down at her.
Oh, nice.
Like,
yeah.
I was like, man, things have gotten intense. He's trying to like climb in through the top now.
Backle that crack.
Oh man.
Well, it's either stuff like that, or you get Daniel Wilkerson talking about being out on the ranch and all the stuff he's doing with horses and things like that. So there's always an interesting like conversation to be had, and then you get a good story out of it from somebody.
For sure.
You also have serious topics too that have, and that's something we'll be touching on about in our presentation, but there's a lot of serious discussions that are had between dads, and that's something that it actually promotes mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that is totally missed because a lot of people, what I've noticed in the past, even at DadCon in Phoenix, a lot of people think that the Dad Lounge is a meeting where it's specifically for board members and for paid members. And
oh, really?
Interesting.
I've never felt that anyway.
Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of people who think that. So when they see it go out, they're like, oh, yeah, that meeting. And I'm sitting there like, why in the world does everyone think it's a meeting? I'm like, it's a platform that's used, but it's more than just the platform. And so we want to tell everyone that it is more than just a meeting. And for those who are curious about it but may not know how to access it and how to guide themselves through it, we want to help them with that too.
Yeah, it's been interesting too, like the other stay-at-home dad group that you were in previously, like there's a lot of the guys are in there as well. It's kind of dual setup on that. And you get guys who they're like, man, I really wish there was a place to like talk to some of you guys in a more like, virtual way or something like that. And man, it doesn't take long, man. Somebody, right? Jeremy Haston or Matt Strain or whoever, those guys immediately are like posting what's up. And then usually I get in touch with that person and I'll be like, hey, like, here's the link. Like it's, fully active. Like if you come in, like, it's just, that's the link every time. And so, if you're not in the National At-Home Dad Network getting the event invitation, you can at least use the link and come in that way. And there's been some guys that have come in and checked it out, and they're like you though, like you're talking about that. I feel like they sat there with their finger on the leave button, and it was like, oh, they're okay. Maybe this wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and boop, they're gone. It's like, wait a minute, like stick around for just a couple more minutes, type of deal.
Give it 5 more minutes.
Yeah, let the conversation flow.
Yeah.
Subjects change so fast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's like, you can come into the Dad Lounge and literally just sit there. You could be on screen if you wanted to or whatnot. Like usually we try to get people to at least say hi or something like that. But for the most part, like, people just want to sit there and kind of listen, see what's going on. And I don't see that as a problem. It just gives them a chance to fill out the group and see like, okay, like how can I interact with the guys in here, that kind of thing. And there have been a few that's what they did. They just hung back, kind of like little like wallflowers, but they came back like the next time, and you're like, oh, now they're on camera and they're talking, and you're like, oh, great, like this is awesome.
Yeah.
And that's really what is exciting to see, is, you know, it's like, all right, like they were willing to give it a chance. And that's the thing that I feel like a lot of the guys, like a lot of the dads, like they just need to give it a chance, and, you know, they'll find some way to interact in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's kind of my MO with it as well. I mean, I mark it on my calendar. I mean, it's important to me to make, you know, and I mean, but I come out, I light a cigar, and especially if there's a lot of people, man, I podcast it, you know, I call it pod, whatever. I just listen. And then, you know, it's cool though. It's easier for us on the West Coast, but man, yeah, you know, even on the West Coast, maybe we'll be up early in the morning sometimes, and, you know, you'll get into some really good talks with guys that like you met that night, and you're like brothers by the end of it. You know, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So with your guys's so you're with your talk and things, like I mean, some of the guys that are coming to the convention, they've participated in the Dad Lounge or whatever. What would you say is like the sticking point type thing? What are you trying to like get at those that are going to come to your breakout?
Arvis, can I say can I give one little thing away from our? Okay, and I think it's just relevant right now because we're pre-DadCon right now. Really, like if you're coming to DadCon and it's like your first time, jump on the Dad Lounge first, because that was huge for me. You know, I wouldn't go out of my way to try to introduce myself to a bunch of guys, but when I showed up to the DadCon in Cincinnati, and I got to see all the guys that I see every Monday night on the Dad Lounge, you know, it was just easy to just get right into it, you know, and you know, start hanging out with those guys. And I kind of treated that one kind of community room where the beer share was and stuff. That reminded me of like a physical Dad Lounge. You know, I'd pop my head in there and be like, who's in here right now? There's nobody. I'll come back in an hour. Oh, an hour later, there's like 10 guys, you know, oh, I'm going to go hang out for a little bit, you know? And I mean, it made the con just so much. I mean, I know that the Dad Con would have been different for me if I didn't have that group of guys from the Dad Lounge to kind of just jump right into it with. So, I mean, that was really helpful to me. So if there's anybody that like is going to the Dad Con for the first time, I totally recommend coming into the Dad Lounge first and, you know, getting a feel, because even the Dad Lounge, I've said before, it kind of feels like DadCon light. You know, we get that like community with each other and stuff. It really helped me with the DadCon for sure.
Yeah, and there is that. I mean, a lot of what we talk about for the convention, there's so many more things to it, but a lot of it comes down to the community, the ability to stand in a room with 100 other men and nobody asks you what you do for a living. You know, nobody looks at you and judges you because you're not bringing in, you know, a monumental paycheck or any paycheck maybe. And nobody has that attitude, and everybody gets it. My first convention, I probably said how many kids I have and how old they are 100 times, you know, because everybody would ask, hey, where are you from? Well, I'm from here. And, oh, how many kids you got? And that was just the automatic icebreaker for just about everybody. Me being extroverted, I didn't have a problem breaking the ice. I would talk to anybody. Right. But I love that idea, Phil. I really do. To just go to the Dad Lounge first, put some faces to names, voices to names. And then when you get there, you can go, oh yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, I can go hang out or just say hi at least. And that, you know, get swept up into all of that the convention has to offer beyond the amazing community. So,
right.
Yeah. No, definitely. I like that idea a lot. I think that's a great invitation. So
we should quote Phil. Get an audio clip.
That's going to be the audio. That's going to be the audio clip for this episode.
Nice. But for the first time attending Q&A, yes, I absolutely think or I can do it, whatever. We should put that in there. If you two don't mind us using that, because I know you told us, but it is a part of your presentation. We don't want to mess that up. But
no, I mean, I think it's important because this is, you know, pre-DadCon. And
it's
I think
time.
It could be a good game changer for a lot of guys who are coming for their first time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's a great quote.
Phil, you were talking about that your a while back that your counselor saw the it was the NBC clip, probably Dad's Got This, with Craig can't think of Craig Melvin from the Today Show. That's probably what they saw. I was just thinking about that.
Okay.
Because they came to Minnesota and shot a whole bunch of stuff, and they followed Charlie O'Hara, went out to his house and did a whole thing on him for like an entire day, and then did the same thing with Greg Washington, and then they had Jonathan Heisey Grove come to New York and actually interview with Craig Melvin in New York at the studio, and then they put all that together into this like amazing like 7-minute featurette on for Dad's Got This. So that's probably what she saw. It's something on our YouTube channel that I love sharing to people, because like, hey, like they're like, oh, what's going on with you guys? It's like, here, check this out.
I remember Charlie saying that it was like they were with him like all day and made like a 7-minute thing out of it. Like it was a whole ordeal. That's cool.
It was pretty neat, man, for sure. But yeah, I mean, the Dad Lounge definitely kind of comes to life at Home Dad Con for sure. The whole like the beer share, or even just like a bunch of the dads going out to dinner, and you know, you have those kind of conversations and stuff. Or the other one that I really find that's fun is you get everybody at breakfast time all sitting around talking and whatnot, and just, you know, enjoying those conversations and being able to just, you know, relax. And that's I like the fact that, you know, you guys proposed this idea to basically talk about this passion that you have for the Dad Lounge and bring that to the convention. I think that is something that is just a needed thing, where members see this very useful resource and they just want to make sure that everybody else understands like the full extent of what it can do for you. And so I really just appreciate the fact that you guys are stepping out there to present on it.
It's like CrossFit.
Yes. And I will say this, so the viewers and listeners will know, it was 100% Phil's idea. And so I wanted to make sure to give him a shout out, because he is a brilliant individual. And
Arvis is missing a big part. Arvis just want to stop talking about it. So I'm like, dude, just go to the convention and talk about it there.
I don't know about that. But you know, he has a great, brilliant mind. And I will say, definitely, those who will come to our presentation before our breakout session, you will see how brilliant his mind is. So I'm just a promoter, but I will definitely say that he is definitely the brain and I am the peak.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
What are we gonna do tonight, Brain? Oh, we're gonna start the Dad Lounge. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Take over the dad world.
That's casual.
So aside from your presentation, before you go, I am curious, what is something that you're looking forward to up in Milwaukee getting to do during Home Dad Con?
I mean, I guess Paul did say there was a cigar lounge like 5-minute walk away. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
In Cincinnati, there was that whatever up on, can you remember that, like by the pool area? And you know, some of the guys would get up there and you'd have cigars and hang out and stuff. And you know, that was a lot of fun. In Phoenix, we went to a cigar lounge. I think there was like 5 or 6 of us. And I like the smaller group settings sometimes. Sometimes the bigger ones kind of overwhelm me a little bit and I'm more taking notes sort of a thing. But I like the small group setting stuff where you can really kind of, you know, get into it with some other guys. I really enjoy that a lot. I mean, geez, just the DadCon, you know, just the DadCon as a whole, I'm excited about that. I mean, it really is like a software update, man. I really do. I know that it's going to help me with a lot of stuff.
That's awesome.
5 weeks.
What about you, Arvis?
It's alongside the same things because it's literally I'm looking forward to getting more proverbial tools for my toolbox. And the first DADCon, I really got so much information. I was excited to come home, and I really felt empowered, to my wife does all the cooking because she absolutely loves to cook. And if you'll see in that lounge that I try and I fail. I just usually get my coffee and my Snuggie, and which I have on right now. Uh, and then I'm pretty much chill in my bathroom, and people will find out. Yeah, that is my hangout. That's only pretty much the only place that I can actually stretch out my feet. But what I'm also looking forward to is the same thing, just a camaraderie, because the the beer share is more than just, like people think you just going there to drink. No, it's just a place to hang out.
Yep.
And what the beer share does, if I'm, may I say, am I able to say as far as what the beer share does?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So when I found out that it raises money for the scholarship fund, I tried to promote that in every single way, even when I was wearing the Boba Fett, helmet, and I'm like, come on, bid, and I'm like, come on, I'm like, this is for the scholarship fund. We're stay-at-home dads, and I'm sitting there doing the dance from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and everyone is just, whether introvert or extrovert, was just vibing, and I'm looking forward to the exact same thing where Phil said the cigar lounge, because outside of us going, which was about a 15-minute drive for us to go to the cigar lounge, there was nowhere you can really hang out because there was so much construction and they didn't have like a place on top or anything like that to hang out in the hotel. So it kind of, we were limited. But to be able to go to a cigar lounge, play some dominoes, aka bones, and just be able to vibe, get to know each other, on a more personal level, and to bring more dads into that, and so it won't be, since we have kids, it won't be, you walk into the cafeteria, you're the new kid and you don't know where to sit. Everyone's saying, "Come here, come sit,
Yeah.
sit."
Come
And
sit
so
over
now
here.
you have options. Yeah. And that's what I really love about DADCon. And this will also be my first time seeing autumn season for what it is, as we see, burnt plants.
Yeah, it's terrible there. You should all leave. But yeah.
It's very laid back. I will say that.
Oh, it's gotta be. You can't get excited. You'll burst into flames.
Yeah.
Yes, I will say that. However, when it's cooler in the winter months, that will make you look at houses. It's very beautiful.
That'll make you look at houses.
Just because you put a fan on yourself when there's a fire all around you doesn't mean it's cooler.
Yeah, cooler is relative.
It gets so hot here that we don't use the numeric system for the temperature. We start giving warning signals. It's a high of combusted car engine.
I say at least Phil gets snow where he's at in Arizona.
No, that's not snow. That's tears.
Well, I think you'll really enjoy Milwaukee. Milwaukee is a beautiful city, and we have so many things planned around the entire thing. The weather is going to be the least. It'll be the thing that it'll hit you every single day, just a little bit differently. So do bring a jacket. Arvis, of course, bring like all your winter gear. But do you have any winter gear? You don't have any winter gear. I'm thinking.
I'm working on some things for that.
I appreciate that. It is very hard being tall. 4'9". It's hard being tall. But
That's right.
that being, yes, I will bring my Snuggie. Except this time I won't look like an idiot walking around downtown Phoenix in a Snuggie when it's like 115 degrees outside. Totally
Yep.
did not realize that. I'm like, why is everyone looking at me strange? And Gerard is like, you're 7'3" and you have on the Snuggie. I'm like, oh crap, I still have this thing on. I'm like, oh man. Yes. Utilization of your brain is essential.
The rest of us are melting in t-shirts and shorts, and he's wearing a Snuggie.
Yeah, it's the heat, man. It's got to you. It's busted your head, and then you're all thinking it's cold when it can't be cold there. I'm sorry, man.
Well, Lord,
I keep my house anywhere between 69 and 65 degrees, so it's like a winter paradise in here.
Well, I would think so. You'd have to. I mean, I'd be keeping my house at probably like 42 degrees most times.
I don't know, man. I think, it's 100 and death outside. You come in, and if it's 85, who cares? I'll tell you something, Arvis. Let me tell you this. My wife told me she did this growing up. I never believed her because we lived in Georgia. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. You cannot do that. Up here, you leave your butter out on the counter.
Yes.
And I'm like, do you need to put that away? And I think it was her brother, and he was like, what? No, we just leave it right here. We'll put a cover on it. And I'm like, what? Why? Are you going to use it for something
that
later?
So
like,
that's such a Midwest thing.
It is. It's crazy. I'm like,
Totally.
because in Georgia, no, I'm sorry. One, it would melt and it would be a puddle. And two, even in the AC, it'd be a puddle. Two, you'd get ants. Just, that's it. Do you want ants? Because that's how you get ants. Thank you, Archer, for my best lines.
Very, very much true. And
but you're going to have a great time.
I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait, especially to see my brothers who I haven't seen in a year.
I just hope you have enough leg room on the plane.
That is one thing I'm thinking about. The other thing I'm thinking about is I hope that the bed situation doesn't happen again, as I did not sleep for the entire convention, and I got in Wednesday. Oof. And I never forget, they were like, yeah, we have a nice sized queen. Get up there. I'm like, this is a pretty princess.
Yeah, right. Is there no queen?
Man. And Phil, thank you for every morning coming up and getting me, because every single time when I finally fall asleep, I'm like, I miss breakfast. And he's like, oh, no, I got to wait. I'm like, yes.
Nice.
And so, yes.
Good job, Phil. Good job.
Man, Phil's my wingman. He always holds it down for me because I am very oblivious. For those who don't know, I'm very oblivious. I don't catch on. I'm a very nice guy. And I don't catch on to what's happening around me until it's too late. And so, cerebrally, Phil, I'm saying, Phil, help me, Phil. I don't know what to do. And Phil comes just out of nowhere, like impeccable timing. So
take off the Snuggie.
Oh no! I'll tell you one.
We're on the street.
Churchill and in downtown. I mean, at the first floor. Mm-hmm. He helped me out in both of those situations. And Phil, appreciate it.
Oh man. Well, hey fellas, we're up against the time on the show, but honestly, I think we could probably continue talking for a while, but we're going to have to cut it where it's at. But other than that, I mean, we got 5 weeks. We're going to see each other real soon. When this comes out, I think we'll be less than 30 days out. So that's crazy in itself. But I really appreciate you guys coming on and talking about just the Dad Lounge and just, what's giving you this motivation to talk to everybody else at Home DadCon. And we'll see y'all in a few weeks, man. So till then, have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us, and we'll probably see you on the lounge.
Yes. Thank you for the opportunity. And we'll see you in the lounge. And everyone, thanks for listening and watching.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.